So this video is just about some quick troubleshooting tips to help you out when things go a little bit wrong. If you have a look here now, this is a typical start of the website scenario. You've got your blank page. You might decide that now's the time that you're going to do your background colour. Okay, or maybe you're going to insert your table first or whatever, but often people will do the background colour. Now I've seen people in class coming down to the body tag here, typing in BG, ready to get the background colour, and go into the colour picker and choosing a fantastic background colour, and that's fine. Okay, and we'll just choose that colour there and we'll press enter. But what happens then is people then go straight to insert, they go straight to table. You know, they put their 6 columns, their 6 rows in, they look at the exam paper, they can see that, you know, there's a resolution, it says 1024 by 768, so they make the table 1024 wide, they click OK, and then this happens. The table doesn't appear, and they start clicking everything, and it's a disaster. Well, what do you do in this situation? The first thing to do is to go to Edit and Undo. Okay, go back to the point where it was last looking how you wanted it to, and try again. Now if you just go to insert table, the same thing's going to happen. You've got to look down here at the code and find out what's going wrong, and it's because the cursor is highlighting this bit of information here. Okay, we talked about building websites since year 8, and we've always said that the cursor has to be between the 2 body tags. Okay, now it could be there or it could be there. It will work in either, but if it's in there like it was before, it won't work. If the cursor's up here when you go to insert table, it won't work. It has to be right there or right there. Doesn't matter, as long as it's after that bracket and it's before that bracket there. Okay, so if I go to insert now and go to table, same option, 6, 6, 10, 24, click OK, and my table appears. Now if this option up here is set to live, okay, you'll find it very difficult to edit this table, to make changes to it, to merge cells. Okay, so whilst you're building the website, it's really useful to have that on design. Okay, that means that when you highlight these cells and right click and go to table and merge cells, it'll work as you want it to. If you resize that and just drag it down, everything will work just as you wish it would. Now sometimes excuse me, what can happen is the settings around here can all go a bit wrong. Say for example, you know, that's happening, you don't know how to get them back, or you know, you've accidentally clicked on design and the code's gone and you're not sure what to do. So what you do in this situation is you just go up to the top where it says standard and just click reset standard, and what that will do is it will put back the side here. Okay, and if you just click split, it'll put the code will come back as well, so you can always fix this situation. And another thing that can sometimes happen, I've seen this particularly when people are using Fireworks, is the menu bar up here at the top can disappear, and suddenly you can't get to file anymore, and you think, well, I can't save my work, I don't know what to do, and the exam invigilator is not going to help you out because they're not allowed to. So what do you do in that situation? Well, on your keyboard, down at the very, very bottom, you'll see there's some buttons. What the first one says CTRL, that's Center for Control. The next one's got 4 squares, that's the Windows key. And the third one along says Alt. Now look what happens when I press Alt. The menu options at the top, they sort of come alive, and there's a little line underneath certain letters. Now if I press the letter F, that menu appears. That will happen even if you can't see file. So if you're in a situation in your exam and you're in Fireworks or you're here in Dreamweaver and you can't see file, don't panic. Just press Alt and then F, and then with your mouse you can still save your work. Everything will be fine. Final little things that might happen during your exam could be that you'll have issues when you start inserting images and things like that. So for example, you know, if I just merge those cells together there just to insert an image. Now we've talked about how in your exam you can, of course, just, if you've got an image that you really want to use and you're happy with, you don't need to insert it, you don't need to copy and paste it, you can just find that image and just drag it in like this. Okay, I've got a message there. That message has come up because the page on title 1 is not saved in the same folder as those images. So I'll click OK and it'll fix that for me anyway. So look, my table's a disaster, everything's gone horribly wrong. Okay, what am I going to do? Well, the first thing is to not panic. Okay, if I scroll down, you can see this image can be resized. Hopefully you'll have already resized it using the options that I showed you earlier on to bring the file size down, but if you've not done that, and you're in this sort of situation, don't panic. Firstly, resize the image manually right here. Okay, making it smaller means you can start to move everything back across. The table can then be resized. Okay, now don't panic if it doesn't look immediately how you want it to look. Okay, there's a lot of space here that we're not using yet. Just going to resize that picture a little bit more, and then we'll just move that across a little bit more. Now then, hopefully what we can do is, if we just keep, can you see just there, we need to just move that line across. That will then free this one up to move across a little bit more. So just by rejigging the table a little bit, I'm just going to do that again just in case you didn't see it. I'm just going to undo. The reason this column wouldn't move then is because just underneath that one there is just in the way. Okay, I need to move that along so that this one can then move along also. Okay, so it is limited by the next column along, but that's fine. Remain calm, work through it step by step like that, and you'll be absolutely fine. Okay, and those are the sort of common issues that people have had during exams with things not working as they should do. Remember, if you do something and it messes everything up horrifically, all you ever have to do is go to edit and undo, or on your keyboard press Ctrl and Z, and everything will be fine. And the final top tip in this section is this: once you get something working and you're happy with it, constantly save your work. You know, when as I did each of these things here, the sound file, the video file, the email link, a constant file and save. Make sure you save it every 2 or 3 minutes, every time you do something new and it works, so that if you do horrifically mess up and you can't undo, you can always close the page and open it up again at a point where it used to work. Hopefully that are all the troubleshooting tips you're going to need on the day. Remember to remain calm, don't panic, try undo. If that doesn't work, hopefully if you've been saving as I've just suggested, you can always reopen up an old clip and an old page and pick it up from wherever you were when it last worked.